went from 0K a month, and then as soon like within my first month, I made 2 grand, and that was just like unthinkable at the time. Like even though 2 grand, like for a uni student like who's just going from like zero to to that is just it's a huge difference,
2K in your first month is fantastic, right? So just so people can get an idea, what's been your best month like so far? What's been your best month of setting?
Obviously, alongside uni, I'm restrained, but I've
Yeah.
managed to make just over like 3 grand a month, like consistently, which has been uh, like I said, crazy, obviously.
Okay, guys, I've got another client testimonial, client interview for you now. I'm here with Kian. So, Kian, this is probably this is one of my most favorite client reviews and client testimonials that I've done so far. And I wanted to hop on with Kian and just kind of give you guys a run through of his experience with working with me, the results he's gotten, all of that kind of stuff. So, Kian, welcome to the call, mate. So let's get straight into it, just so you can kind of give an idea to people of where you're at, and just kind of like give us an idea of, what you're working with. What was it that kind of brought you to the appointment setting space initially, just so we can kind of like, go through that?
Yeah, pleasure to be here, man. So, initially it was just the sheer, I guess, monotony of everything, and just that, like you've kind of got that burning ambition and desire to just break out of that kind of like a system you could call it, like the
Yeah.
normal life path of just do uni, get into a 9 to 5, retire like when you're really old and that kind of thing. Like for me, like I always just wanted to be able to travel and work and just kind of work for myself, if you know what I mean. That freedom is just so alluring. And I'd never heard of appointment setting at the time. This was December 2024 when it happened, when I reached out to Aidan. And man, I haven't looked back since. Like it's been absolutely incredible, just like the freedom. I just like I don't really worry about it anymore. Like I can do what I want pretty much. I work for myself, choose my own hours. It's unreal, man.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, so how was it that how did you find me? I mean, I know we've spoken about this privately, but like just so people can get an idea, how was it that you came across like me?
Through, actually, on your this very channel, and it was way back when, and I had no idea about setting. I put a comment in about it, and yeah, that the rest is history. And we, got in contact, and yeah, it was one of the best things I ever did.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
shortly after that, ended up actually like setting with an amazing company.
So for those of you that don't know, Kian was actually my first ever client, my first ever appointment setting,
OG.
first ever coaching client. I remember you watched one of my videos. I remember you left a comment asking how to find a role
That's right.
through Indeed. You were like, I've been applying on Indeed, and I was like,
Yeah.
I remember thinking I wasn't even trying to coach people at this point. It was just like a rough idea. And I said,
Mm,
look, mate, send me a message on Instagram and I'm going to help you out. Because I was like, look, if you go down the Indeed route, you're going to waste your time. Yeah,
yeah.
I remember I just said send me a message on Instagram and you reached out and then we got talking from there. But yeah, so like give us an idea, like before we actually started working together, obviously the whole uni side of things, just kind of like give us an idea of how your life was looking before you actually met me, the uni routine, the finances, all that kind of stuff, so people can get an idea.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to make money like so badly and everything, and it was like really hard to like find a normal part-time job at uni, um, up in Newcastle, just because there's just so many students, and like I was applying on Indeed, and like we were just mentioning, Indeed is just terrible,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I was just desperate to make some money, and well, I looking back, like not getting a part-time job was the best thing I ever did because it made me seek out setting. And yeah, man, I just opened a new like stuff that I didn't really think was possible, just easily making like a few grand a month, like alongside uni, like that's insane, unthinkable at the time, but here we are, setting you made it possible, so
Yeah.
very grateful.
I appreciate it, brother. Right, so people can get an idea as well. So obviously, like before we start working together, like mate, I'm glad you didn't get a part-time job as well, because otherwise you wouldn't have made it work.
Same. Yeah,
But yeah, but you wouldn't have had time to do it. But yeah, so,
yeah, exactly.
so obviously we know where you were, but like after working together, I mean, obviously we still are, but like after working together in terms of like, numbers, etc., where are you? So you started at basically zero, basically
I
debt
did.
at uni. Like yeah, you're in a couple, debt at uni, working together. Like, what are the numbers looking like before and after of working together?
So I went from 0K a month, and then as soon like within my first month, I made 2 grand, and that was just like unthinkable at the time. Like even though 2 grand, like for a uni student like who's just going from like zero to to that is just it's a huge difference. I mean, it's not life changing, obviously, but it's for my situation at the time, it was insane. And then also like the progression as well, like it doesn't just end there. Like, I've definitely earned a little bit more than that now, and
Yeah.
like consistently. And despite obviously it's like commission based and whatnot, but like it is remarkably consistent every month actually. So yeah, I gotta give credit to that. I didn't think that because obviously, it's mainly commission based, and at the time that was scary, but also kind of what I wanted because I wanted to eat what I kill basically. I hated the idea of, like that kind of wage slave kind of stuff. I mean, to put it brutally. But the thing is, with that kind of stuff, it annoyed me because I wanted something that reflected my effort, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And just putting like a dollar amount on my time just didn't feel right. So yeah, that's what I really like about remote sales.
All right. 2K in your first month is fantastic, right?
Mm.
So just so people can get an idea, what's been your best month like so far? What's been your best month of setting?
So my
Do you
best
have
month of
outliers?
setting. Yeah, yeah. So obviously alongside uni, I'm restrained, but I've
Yeah.
managed to make just over like 3 grand a month, like consistently, which has been uh like I said, crazy, obviously. But when I actually have the time and I finish uni and whatnot, and I can devote myself fully to setting, like I'm aiming for that 5K a month mark. I'm chasing that. I'm
Yeah.
chasing that mark. So yeah.
Hey, that's the saying. So like on average, like kind of like an average monthly, what would you say? Like 2 to 3K a month?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, mate, that's perfect. And I would love to, and just a quick note to you, Kian. Let's not name the company that you're with because I don't know, like, I don't want to do it without their permission, like listing on like a testimonial. But just so you guys can understand,
Good idea. Yeah, fair enough.
how long was it that it took us to get you the role first? So before I get into that, how long was it? It was about 2 weeks, wasn't it? It was something
Bro,
ridiculous.
it was like instantly.
It was
It
like
was
2 weeks.
mental.
It was something like that. I think you messaged you well, we started working together, and it was like I think a week later, I was like, oh, by the way, this company, which I'm not going to say the name of, which is, by the way, guys, the company that Kian is working with, is like ultra high level,
Yeah, they're up there.
one of the biggest like online coaching businesses in this entire space, loads of leads, very high ticket product, really great company to work for. I'm not going to say the name, obviously, but yeah, I think it was like within a week because I had connections over at that company. I think I got in an interview, right, within like a week.
You did, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then after that, it was just straight into it, full on, and just it was interesting, getting set up at first and whatnot, but it was just remarkable, like how fast you can pick it up. It's not something you need prior experience for. Like, I truly believe if just with like effort and consistency, like you'll get there. Like it's so attainable, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Absolutely, man. Well, listen, so with the whole process of me helping you, I mean, obviously I took you from like A to Z. Like I think well, for example, you were trying to find roles in Indeed.
Mm.
So you had like very limited knowledge on how the whole model even worked, complete beginner. So I took you from A to Z.
Yeah.
How did you find that process of like learning everything? And for example, I showed you how to find your own roles too. I know we got you one within my network, but still you learn everything, all the crux of it to actually do it yourself. So how did you find that process and the experience of working with me? Like how was that for you so people can get an idea?
Like, well, I mean, you've heard it. Like, I just started working with Aidan with Aidan within 2 weeks. I got like an incredible role, incredible company,
Yeah,
and like I said with the prior experience thing, you don't need it because it's all just handed to you on a platter, like the method, like
yeah,
everything that you need to do. You just churning it out basically. You're just doing what it says. You don't even have to think basically. It's it's like crazy easy. But yeah, like the coaching, like I couldn't have done it without you. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I appreciate it, brother. I was going to say something else. I completely forgot. I had a really good question. I don't know if I'm going to cut this out in the video. I had a really good question. Oh yeah, like with the company, obviously we're not going to name it, but like within that company, didn't you become like the top setter within a couple of months working there as a complete
First
beginner?
month.
Yeah, first month you hit. I think that they had like a team leaderboard,
The
and you
leaderboard,
and
yeah,
you were.
yeah.
And I think the leaderboard, whoever was top of the leaderboard, got like a bonus as well. I think that's what they
Yeah,
had.
that's right.
And you were complete beginner, started working with me. Obviously, I was guiding you, but you were on the team with other setters that had experience. Just by working with me when you first month, you smashed them all. You got to the top of the leaderboard. It's
I
incredible.
did, yeah. Yeah, it felt incredible. Like these people, like all like sales pros, like some who are even been closers within the company before, who are like setting and to come in, and doing like full-time education or full-time setting. It's like
Yeah.
to come in and make have those kind of results is it's just incredible. Like I said, just effort and consistency, and you'll get there.
Yeah, amazing, man. And as well, I think I remember the owner of the company actually reached out to you directly, didn't he? And he said something like, they were entertaining the idea of like getting you into closing for them, weren't they?
They were, yeah, yeah, yeah. I joined the sales group chat. I guess that was a bit of foreshadowing, perhaps.
I didn't actually know that until this call. They added you to the sales group chat.
Yeah, I mean, nothing ever really. So, like, I do like. So, I like your philosophy around the golden handcuffs kind of thing.
Yeah.
I want to stay with setting for now.
Yeah.
I'd consider maybe in the
Yeah.
future closing. Right now, setting like for the ease, like how free you are, like that, and just the amount of money that you can make is great. And then see, like the thing with like the golden handcuffs of closing, like you just feel so trapped, you know?
Yeah.
And like I can just see it like closing looks really cool, but it looks so stressful.
Yeah. And this is a really good lesson to, I mean, obviously I make YouTube videos on this as well, but just so you guys watching can get an idea as well. So number one, the fact that Kian came on within 1 month, landed a very, elite level role, became the top setter and actually had the company offering him a sales rep position is
Mm.
like, right, that's really, really good. For those of you that are quite new to the space, to do that quick is amazing. And to have that company and the people that are involved, obviously that caliber, obviously me and you know who we're talking about, right? To have them offer you a sales rep position when their hygiene standards for salespeople are like really high, for you to get
Yeah,
offered that as a complete beginner, someone who didn't really know what they're doing, right? Within a couple of months is
yeah,
fantastic. I,
exactly.
I totally agree with you with the closing as well. And for those of you that are watching this interview as well. Closing's great. If you're going to start remote sales, get into closing a little bit down the line if you're a complete beginner, because to make money closing, you have to do it full time and you have to be quite good, right? And it's a massive commitment. You don't have the location freedom, you don't have time freedom. People tell you that you don't, but you do with setting. You just make a little bit less more money. So, yeah, Kian, that's the same thing with me. Like when I was working with one of my first ever offers, very similar company to yours, right? Very high level. They offered me a closing position, and I was like, no, I'm not taking it because I'd love the lifestyle freedom, the time freedom with settings.
That's
So
what it is. Yeah, it's the lifestyle, it's the freedom. Like
yeah,
you can't like obviously you're gonna make a little bit more closing, but you just do not have that freedom. And like I said at the beginning, like the freedom is something that I really valued.
yeah. But to,
So I
to
say,
have the option of becoming a sales rep at this, this high caliber company,
yeah,
um, oh, what was I going to say? It's like that, honestly, with the lead flow and the high ticket price, you and I both know because you knew the sales reps that are on the team as well. They're making like 10K, 15K a month, right?
up to like 20K a
Yeah.
month.
10 to 20K a month is a
Yeah,
really high
mental.
ticket opportunity. And you were like,
Hmm.
nah, I'd rather stick with settings. So take that as a lesson, guys, who are watching this. Closing is not all that, right? To
It's a
turn down
big
a
job.
10K to 20K a month position just to have that freedom side of things, it should show you also how low the barrier to entry of living this life is. So yeah, you did it that quick. There's a high caliber company making 3 grand a month basically instantly, had the sales rep position offered to you, turned it down, which is a 6 figure a year opportunity that you turned down. Like, man, you smashed it. And I'm so proud of you for actually doing the work and doing what I told you to do, mate.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
Also, right, I've got a couple more questions before we round off this interview. So, what was it that actually made you pull the trigger with working with me? Because I think, like you said, you've been looking at like appointment setting stuff on YouTube for a while. You came across my videos. Obviously, we had a chat. What was it that made you pull the trigger and go, yeah, Aiden's the guy that I want to work with?
I guess, like my situation, I was just thinking like, what do I have? I don't really have much to lose, I was just so I, reached out in the comments and just, I always say like I think there's like a Theo Von said something like nothing changes if nothing changes.
Yeah.
And I just yeah, I was just so like motivated just to like make money, and like I said, until I came across your video, like I didn't even know what appointment setting was, like, or like anything about remote sales or anything like that. So watching that, that video, just completely shifted something, and I was like, how do I start? Because
Yeah.
obviously, I was watching your video, so I thought, who better to ask? Pop a comment in, and just like, how do I start? And then you're just like, I'll show you how.
Yeah, amazing, man. Perfect. I mean, like, it's great that you actually took the initiative and took action because most people don't. So,
Yeah, it's the
what
first
to,
step.
to
Yeah.
transition on to the next question that I've got, the final question, going off of that point, what would you tell anybody who's like on the fence of working with me? They're like, this looks great. I'm a little bit scared. What would you say to them if they're kind of like, if they're a little bit hesitant, a little bit on the fence, to anyone who's thinking of joining, what would you say to them right now?
Well, just ask them a simple question of like, do you want your life to change? Like, what is it about setting that seems appealing to you? Like, if you are considering setting, you're probably like me, like young, or you've just been in like a 9 to 5 for a bit and you want to break out of that kind of system, that kind of because it's a bit like a trap, really. If you want to be able to work from your laptop remotely, make like 5 grand a month, travel around, like I don't really like what's not to like, really. So and you ask yourself like, what do you really have to lose? This is if you want your life to change, then I mean, this is it. Like, um, mate, it's just absolutely mental. Like
Yeah.
how accessible it is, and like the reward that you get for it. Like,
Yeah.
it's just the risk to reward ratio is just incredible. So do it. You know.
That's really good to hear, man. Listen, we'll end off the interview here, but mate, like genuinely on camera and off camera, I'm so proud of you, mate, for actually doing the work and actually getting this far.
Thank you,
Because
brother.
I know it did a big shift for you, obviously working like at uni and everything. So I'm so glad I was able to help you out with that.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
really did, man.
that's
Thank you.
yeah, no worries, man. That's pretty much it, guys. So that's Kian's story. Like keep an eye out for videos like these because I'm working with people like this all the time and getting them results like this all the time. And this is what you can expect when you actually learn from somebody who's still in the game. I still do appointment setting to this day. I've been doing it for 2 years. I've worked with some big names. I've done like, I know exactly what I'm talking about. And as you can see here, this is how fast you can get results working with me if you do what I say. Like just listen to Kian's story here and you'll smash it. Okay. But you have to take initiative and actually take action. So Kian, thanks so much for your time, mate. We'll end off the interview here. And guys, if you want to learn a little bit more about how I can help and how you can get the exact same results, there's going to be a link down below in the description to book a call with me. Book that in and I'll run you through exactly how I can help.